Halloween Havoc may be this Saturday, but we had our own little nightmare tonight on NXT. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Wrestling. It is time for your NXT review. I'm feeling a bit under the weather, but I am going to pump this out. There's no stopping. We're working here 24/7. So here we go with the NXT review. And normally, you would go from the start of the show to the end of the show in chronological order, but this wasn't a normal show. So I'm just going to skip straight to the part that pissed me off the most. And there was quite a lot that I didn't like on the show, but there was one particular thing that I fucking hated. So Shotzi Blackheart, who I don't have anything against Shotzi Blackheart, pretty hot, you know, gothic chick, whatever, Filipina. She comes out, she wants to host, I don't know why, but she wants to host Halloween Havoc. Apparently she's hosted it before, so she cuts a little promo. All that's good. Then we have what's his name, Quinn. Quinn comes down, Sion Quinn comes down, and he wants to be her co-host. But before he gets an answer, we have this big fat piece of shit, Quincy Elliot, comes down. It's like it's like the gay Mabel. It's like Mabel and Goldust and fucking Rico, all three of them have just had a big gangbang, and this guy popped out. So that's basically what you get. And he gets in the ring, and he's like looking up, and he's looking up like Sion Quinn, and he says, "Oh, I'd love to see you in a Halloween costume." Therefore, sexualizing a fucking guy. And then they get into a brawl. He throws out Sion Quinn at the ring, and then Elliot Quincy starts doing this gay dancing, and then you have Shotzi Blackheart, who's pure like fucking twerking on Quincy Elliott's ass, and she's slapping his fucking ass. It's like you've got a hot chick here, a hot alternative chick, and instead of Sion Quinn coming out and trying to hit on the hot chick, you've got the fucking hot chick that's big slapping the big fucking fanny's arse, man. Like, what is this? Big fucking fat guy, jiggling about, big gay ass shaking about the ring, and she's there slapping it. Could you imagine? Why can't we get the roles reversed? We would never get the roles reversed in 2022. That would never happen in wrestling these days. You're never going to get a hot chick on the roster twerking, and you're not going to get like an alpha male. Like, I don't know, Sion Quinn, he looks like an alpha male, big dude, decent looking guy, chiseled, in good shape. He looks like an alpha male. You look at Quincy Elliot, he's the fucking complete opposite of an alpha male. You would never get someone like Sion Quinn, slapping the ass of a woman. No, we can't get that, because all men in WWE have to be emasculated. Men aren't allowed to be attractive to women. Men aren't allowed to be turned on by women. But we can have Shotzi Blackheart spank this big fat bastard's arse, man. It pissed me off, right? It's like, see, back in the day, now then Booker T then went on to commentary, and he was like saying he doesn't want to judge Quincy Elliot because he used to have a partner back in the day, and he referenced Goldust. Right, you see, back in the day, Goldust done a lot of gay shit, and I didn't mind it. It was actually funny. He done. I remember him like trying to team up with Booker T, and he's like, he says to Booker T, if you give me a bite of your burger, if you share your drink or something, I'll give you a bite of my wiener. And he's got this big massive fucking hot dog. Yeah, so Goldust was like a gay, bi, some sort of weird freak character, but it was actually funny. It was entertaining. Plus, you had Rico as well, who was like borderline gay. You had Billy and Chuck, who was gay, but it didn't bother me because you were getting the same on the other side. On the other, if you look at it from a different perspective, you were getting like women that were being sexualized, so it wasn't just men. So like, I didn't mind Goldust being like super fucking gay, because like in the next segment you would get Trish come out in her fucking brand panties. That was good. But in 2022, nah, you can't get hot chicks. They have to be fucking totally covered from head to toe. Every show is like Saudi fucking Arabia, and you've got big fat Quincy Elliot out there shaking his arse, and bloody Shotzi Blackheart's fucking spanking him. I'm a bit jealous that she's not touching me, maybe, but I just thought this pissed me off, man. It really did piss me off, man. Wrestling has went to shit. I can guarantee, I would bet my life and every single penny in my bank account that you would not get this roles reversed, right? You would not get a straight guy. I don't even. You would maybe you would get Quincy Elliot, spanking Shotzi Blackheart, but you would never get a guy that looks like an alpha male, like Sion Quinn, that is attracted to a female. You would never get Sion Quinn, spanking Shotzi Blackheart, and it's double standards, and it's the same thing with Rhea Ripley and Scarlett Bordeaux. I mean, they can hit, and I mean, the commentary team, I'm going to make a separate video on that, but it's absolutely retarded how the women in WWE can just attack men at free will, and, you know, they're not thought bad of it, like, it's completely fine, but by God, the thought of a man even defending himself is like fucking, you know, the worst crime ever committed, worse than Hitler, you know what I mean? Like, Scarlett Bordeaux has been attacking Drew McIntyre week after week after week, you know, trying to blinding him, throwing fire in his face, trying to burn him, you name it, she's been doing it. But God forbid Drew McIntyre, man, done something, and he would be worse than Hitler. He'd be worse than a guy that killed like fucking 13 million Jews. But anyway, forget it. We're going to move on to the start of the review. I had to rant about that there because it fucking pissed me off big time. So, with that said, guys, not feeling well. I'm gonna not spend too much time on this. We're just gonna quickly, well, not gonna quickly go through it, but I'll give you my thoughts, right? So we kick off with pick your poison match: Roxanne Perez versus Rhea Ripley, and I don't get it. There's a lot of I don't want to make this whole review like sexual or anything, but there's a lot of fucking simps out there that do simp for Rhea Ripley, and I'm just thinking how. Like, I've seen some like I've seen like pictures of her from back in the day, maybe 2017, and you know, she had the blonde hair, it was long, and she had less tattoos, and she looked a bit more feminine. And I'm not going to say she didn't look hot back in the day, but now, I mean, how can you be attracted to Rhea Ripley? Big, muscular looking fucking manly dude. Like manly traits, she's aggressive, she's angry, you know, she's dominant. It's all like male attributes. So I mean, all the people in the crowd, oh, I love Rhea Ripley, and you see it on Twitter all the time, people getting like turned on by Rhea Ripley. It's like they must be simps, they must be like absolute fucking gimps, because I just don't see how Rhea Ripley is that appealing, man. She looks like a fucking dude, and it's not just because she's like this whole like gothic thing, because like I said, Shotzi Blackheart is, you know, a goth or whatever, an alternative chick, but she actually looks feminine, you know what I mean? She's got this feminine look to her, whereas Rhea Ripley just looks like a big fucking dude. It's like China. It's like a gothic China. I mean, it is what it is. Anyway, speaking of hot, Roxanne Perez is pretty cute, but she doesn't win, so, but it was weird. She actually, Rhea Ripley needed help from the Judgment Day, and I do find that weird, actually, that Rhea Ripley is supposed to be, I think the last time she was, like, not injured, she was, like, fighting for a title, and then all of a sudden she needs help to beat 4'10" Roxanne Perez, and I'm not trying to bury Roxanne Perez, but I thought the whole point of Rhea Ripley coming from Raw, I think the whole point Cora Jade picked Rhea Ripley, because she's, like, this supposed to be this big, dominant, fucking looking man, and she was supposed to beat Roxanne Perez with ease, but it didn't happen that way. Roxanne Perez ended up getting, you know, tripped by Dominic Mysterio. Rhea Ripley wins. I mean, who cares? It was okay. As long as you don't look at Rhea Ripley too long, it was okay. You know, it is what it is. So, aye, there you go. We've seen Cora Jade smiling backstage after Rhea Ripley won. Then we get Cameron Grimes. He's backstage with Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson, and they're basically just talking about the net money, the match tonight, and Thingy's got money, and he's showing them the money, and they want to see the money, and Gallows starts sniffing the money. Holy shit, guys! Sorry. Absolutely dying with the flu here. Trying to get through this review. I'm gonna make it. We're gonna make it. Anyway, Gallows is sniffing the money. I can't sniff right now, my nose is fucking blocked, but Gallows was sniffing the money. He was in love with the money, so I guess they're going to get money tonight when they take on the schism. I could think of a lot of other words to describe the schism, but none of them are nice, and you know, I'm just not going to say it right now. Probably will say it later on in the vid though. So yeah, Channing Stacks Lorenzo versus Nakamura. So Tony D comes out, says he's going to announce Stacks' opponent, says that Stacks is tonight's match is all about respect and proving who you are. He says he's going to announce it, but then he says that I'll announce it after the break. Then the break comes back, Nakamura comes out, so it's Nakamura versus Stacks, and Stacks loses to Nakamura, which I'm not surprised about now. Look, a lot of people thought tonight's NXT was great just because there was a lot of people, like, you know, from the main roster on NXT. A lot of people that used to be on NXT but are now on the main roster came back, and like people were marking out over that. I mean, honestly, Nakamura turning up and having a match that means absolutely nothing does not excite me. Kevin Owens being there does not excite me. Rhea Ripley being there does not excite me. The club being there, you get it, guys, it does not excite me. The other chick that came over for SmackDown also, I mean, probably doesn't look as... Man, does she look as manly as Rhea Ripley? I don't know, but why can't we have, like, you know, slim, petite, feminine women? Why have we got all these big, muscular looking, bloody dudes? I don't get it. But yeah, I'm not a big fan of Raquel Gonzalez. And what's the whole gimmick? She comes out and just flexes her muscles. Oh, I'm a chick and I've got more muscles than you. I'm great. No, you're not. Piss off. Get off my TV screen. But my point being is, if Brock Lesnar turned up on NXT, if John Cena turned up on NXT, that would get me excited. A bunch of people that I do not care for turning up in NXT does nothing for me. But yeah, like I said, Nakamura beats Stacks. We then cut backstage. Grayson Waller's with Mackenzie Mitchell, and Waller dismisses the idea that he's off his A game or whatever. He said he's already beat Apollo Crews and he's going to beat him at the at the pay-per-view. And then Chucky appears. We got a TV screen and Chucky appears, and Chucky the doll says that Waller versus Crews at Halloween Havoc will be a spin the wheel, make the deal match. So I'm not sure what a spin the wheel, make the deal match is. I mean, I just don't get it. I don't get it. We didn't get the spin of the wheel, so we don't really know what it would land it on. So yeah, it was just strange. I didn't understand it. But anyway, we move on. After this, we had Axiom and Naomi Fraser backstage. They're talking about the best of 3 series. They're pure, like, you know, putting themselves over here, talking about how great the match was. Why would Axiom care? The guy lost. You know, this is loser mentality. Oh, we had a good wrestling match, but mate, you lost. You shouldn't. Why are you sitting here, you know, having a fucking love story with the guy that beat you? It doesn't make any sense. Then Von Wagner appears and basically puts down internet marks. I suppose he'd done that to try and get a pop at people like me, but Von Wagner sucks, so he ain't getting nothing for me. And then we've got yeah, that was it basically. Yeah, Fraser steps up to threaten Wagner, but Axiom holds him back. So there you go. Then we get Alba Fire versus Sonya Deville. Sonya Deville appeared on NXT last week. She's appearing on NXT this week to face Alba Fire, just to lose in about 2 minutes. Like, what's the point? Why did they bring Sonya Deville? Sonya Deville's supposed to be a step up in class. She's supposed to be, you know, better than Gigi Dolan and JCJ, and that's why she's coming over to take on Alba Fire to give competition. But then she loses in like 2 minutes. So, you know, what sense did that make? In my opinion, not a lot of sense. But anyway, Alba Fire wins. Then after the match, this was bad. This was really bad. So the 3 of them have got Alba Fire in the ring. They're holding her. Mandy Rose makes a return, and then Mandy Rose says that Fire made the wrong decision adopting her. Rose says at Halloween Havoc she's fighting Fire with fire. She says she will be more callous, more vicious, more ruthless. But while she's saying this, she's saying it in the delivery's terrible. She's saying it in such like a monotone voice, like one-dimensional. But exactly while she's saying this, like Fire is legit fighting off Dolan, Jane and Deville. So why is like Mandy Rose's voice not changing? Why is she not reacting to Fire, you know, fighting off her teammates in the ring? She's walking down to the ring, going to get in the ring, and she's just speaking as if they're still holding on to her. Whereas Fire's, you know, fighting her way out, getting free, and Mandy Rose isn't even acknowledging it. It was garbage. It really was. Then Mandy Rose gets in. She's about to hit her with a belt, but Fire grabs the bat and like points it at Mandy Rose. So I mean, all of a sudden they had like a 4-on-1 advantage and they lost it somehow, and that tells me that Fire's not winning, because up to this stage she's been booked too strong. So that's what this tells me. But what do I know? Absolutely nothing apparently. So then we get Wesley and Oro Mensah. I mean, this Oro Mensah is just a guy that does moves, a guy that we don't need really. They're talking in the locker room when they get attacked by Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams. This starts a brawl. We go to the 2 teams brawl to ringside. We go to commercial. We come back. We get the match. Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams win. Is what it is. You know, just a throwaway tag team match I didn't care for. And then after this, we get a big brawl with everybody who's in the ladder match. So again, it ends with Nathan Fraser doing a big move off the top turnbuckle. So, and the crowd are chanting, "Holy shit!" Is what it is. Then we get the Schism backstage. Joe Gacy says for months Cameron Grimes has been running away from the Schism's open arms, but in just a matter of days he ran into the open arms of a club. Gacy is angry tonight. He says hypocrisy is running rampant in NXT and Grimes is the poster boy of it. Gacy goes on and says nothing will stop the Schism from tearing their formidable opponents down tonight. I mean, who gives a shit, right? I don't mind Joe Gacy, I don't mind Poundland Bray Wyatt here, but the Schism, not only do they look like fucking absolute messes, they are messes, man. It's not a good faction. In fact, it's a horrible faction. So, I don't know. Why did they change? What was wrong with Joe Gacy and the big guy that actually looked intimidating? The big guy that looked like, you know, he could play the part of Michael Myers in Halloween. That Harlan guy actually looked like a freak, but in a good way. You know, he looked like a badass freak. These other two just look like legit freaks. So, I mean, is what it is. Then we've got Mackenzie Mitchell by Braun Breaker backstage. Braun Breaker says that Kevin Owens is going to be here tonight. He's going to be on the Kevin Owens show. Braun Breaker says that the Kevin Owens shows produced lots of great moments, basically, and tonight it's going to produce another one. Is it really, though? Does the Kevin Owens show really produce great moments every single time? I couldn't tell you the last good Kevin Owens show. Probably the only good Kevin Owens show was the one with Austin, because it actually led to a match. So, I mean, there you go. For me, that's the only Kevin Owens show that I've enjoyed, because it ended up resulting in a Stone Cold Steve Austin match. So, yeah. Then we get the Schism versus Cameron Grimes and the OC, the club. Not much to talk about here. Cameron Grimes and the club win, and the club want the money, but it appears that he doesn't have the money there with him, so I don't know. Maybe he was lying. Maybe he doesn't have money. Maybe he's skint. Then we got Mackenzie Mitchell backstage with Fear Mahan. She asks what he whispered in Sanga's ear last week, what made him leave Valentina Feroz at ringside. Fear says everyone wants to know other people's business, but Mackenzie Mitchell and the rest of the world will not get an answer. Fear says he told his brother was for Sagna and no one else. However, for the rest of the world, Sagna walks in to interrupt. Sagna says, brother, I'm ready for this. Fear says he knew Sagna would be. Brother. Fear asks Mackenzie to excuse them, then they walk off together. So we're getting a lot of brother shit here. Are these two brothers, or is it just the same between two Indian guys? The Indian guys greet each other as brother. I mean, I don't care. Personally, these two brothers could fucking disappear off the face of the earth, and I wouldn't give a shit. And I mean, Fear Mahan was doing absolutely nothing on Raw. I don't know why we have to watch him do on NXT. The guy should be released. I called it ages ago. Didn't happen. Just release him now. I mean, the guy's done. He's not going anywhere, so I would just get rid of him. But anyway, then we get we go backstage, and there's like a sit down contract signed between Nikita Lyons and Zoe Stark and the women's tag team champions, and this was absolutely pointless. It was basically just one team saying we're the better team and we're going to win, then the other team said no, we're the better team and we're going to win, and that was it. I mean, this just did not need to happen. I know I always talk down contract signings, but man, I think this one was the worst one I've ever seen, to be honest. Still to come tonight, though, we're going to find out who the Halloween Havoc host is. Then we get a sit down with Julian Creed and Damon Kemp. Julius Creed basically says he's always been better than Damon Kemp. He's going to prove it on Saturday, and I mean, that's it. Julius says that Damon Kemp's not even the best wrestler in his family. I mean, that was it, really. He says the only thing he's going to feel is the handle of the ambulance door. I mean, again, this was garbage, and I don't like either of these guys. Damon Kemp sucks. Julius Creed sucks. Fucking Diamond Mind absolutely sucks. So let's move on. Right, go back to the ring now. Shotzi is introduced as the Halloween Havoc host. I mean, they gave her this a bit of a build-up. I was expecting someone, I don't know, good. I don't know if that's the right word, but I was just expecting somebody bigger than Shotzi Blackheart, but she comes out, says that she's going to go even more balls to the wall, and she made a lot of Halloween jokes. She made a lot of Halloween references. I think it was too much, to be honest. Says she can't wait to get the final piece of her costume this Friday when she and Raquel Rodriguez capture the WWE Women's Tag Team titles from Damage Control. Says she's going to make Halloween Havoc the most terrifying extravaganza in NXT history. She howls it to the crowd. Ho, ho, ho. Something similar like that. I mean, hers was better than mine, guys, but I'm fucking sick, so I'm allowed to do a shit one. Then Sion Quinn comes out when I spoke about this. He basically welcomes her back to NXT and says that if she wants Saturday Night to be box office, then he will be her co-host. Quinn tries to convince her, but the music interrupts and out comes Quincy Elliot. Fans chant for Quincy. He says he's a big fan of Shotzi. He calls her a ballsy ass girl who isn't afraid to step on toes. Elliot then goes on to say he'd love to see Quinn in a Halloween costume. This is, like I said, it's a guy finding another guy attractive, but God forbid. I mean, he's basically hitting on Quinn here, but God forbid that, Quinn could actually come out and hit on Shotzi Blackheart. Could you imagine that? A man actually wanting to get with a woman? Can you believe that, guys? Fuck me. Crime of the century. Then he basically goes on to say he should be the co-host because she needs a bona fide scream queen. So even he's referring himself to a scream queen. You can like this shit if you want. I don't. He says that she needs to ride with the Super Diva. Fans chant for Quincy. Shotzi says the winner of the match will be the host, and then, like I said, one of the most not disgusting, but it pissed me off that we only get it one way. So Quincy Elliot throws out Quinn, and then he starts twerking, and Shotzi's just like, basically, basically rubbing up against his ass and then slapping his ass. It's not right, man. It's not right. I mean, we need Vincent Kennedy. Where was the McMahon that would literally every single segment be fucking undressing the divas with his eyes, and he'd have Stacey Keibler and Tori Wilson, and he'd be bloody sleeping with them all? Where's that? Right? Can we not get that? Can we not get a storyline where fucking Triple H just trades in Stephanie McMahon because he wants a younger woman? And then we get Triple H and Alexa Bliss, I'm the game. I'm going to take you into my locker room. I'm gonna show you the sledgehammer. I mean, can we not get Triple H doing that or something? No, we don't get shit. Anyway, Quinn goes to cheat during the match. I did mention that Booker T says he's trying hard not to judge Quincy because he had a good friend named Goldust once. Quinn goes to cheat by grabbing a steel chair, but the steel chair's not there because Hank Walker is at ringside and he's stopping. He's took the steel chair. Then Quinn gets in the ring and he gets hit with a splash and then a bonsai drop, and Quincy Elliott drops his big fucking fat ass on Quinn and he gets the win. So at Halloween Havoc, it's going to be Quincy Elliott and Shotzi Blackheart, co-hosting Halloween Havoc, whatever. Then we get a Chase University segment. Thea Hall is gutted. She cannot believe she lost to Kiana James, and she let Mr. Stone distract her. She said she let her guard down. She's like really upset. Bodie Hart Hayward says, don't worry, Andrew Chase will get you another match with James. Hale gets super excited. It's like, oh really, Chase? You're going to get me a match, Chase? I want a match, Chase. And Chase is like, look, let's talk about it after class. And that's all fine. Then he says, look, he gives a Halloween Havoc history lesson, says a lot of cool stuff's happened and some, forgettable stuff, some stuff they will not mention. He says their homework for this weekend is to watch Saturday's big event. Then horror icon Chucky, the doll, we've already seen him once tonight. He appears on the screen, shocking the students. He insults them, but then Bodie lashes out at Chucky, and Bodie basically goes into like a Andrew Chase kind of meltdown here. But Andrew Chase is like, oh, don't do that, I don't think that's a good idea. And then Chucky threatens Bodie, and most of it's bleeped out, but what we heard was Chucky saying, I'm going to slit, and then it was like beep, 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 and I'm going to assume it was like I'm going to slit your fucking throat or something like that. But a lot of it was beeped out, but we got the point, right? Chucky is going to gut Bodie Hardwood if he gets his hands on him. And then Chucky finishes it with saying, now that's a teachable moment. Now, this was great, okay? And then Hale and Bodie are a bit shocked as they regain their composure, and Hale turns around and says, what the fuck? But the fuck is bleeped out, and this surprises everyone because she's like a good girl who doesn't swear. And then you see Bodie on the thumbnail, he just turns around looking like mega shocked, he can't believe what's happened here. And see, this was a good promo. This is this is just good, entertaining shit. And we've got the teachable moment. You know, Chucky saying this is a teachable moment. That's what they've got because, you know, Andrew Chase is known for that now. That's his, like, catchphrase. You need catchphrases. You need sayings, right? You can relate to that. When Chucky comes on and says that's it. How could Chucky do this segment? Like, you take Andrew Chase out this segment and you put in anybody that's just, you know, a bland, bloody wrestler. You know, oh, I'm 180 pounds, I'm 5'10", and I want to wrestle. You put someone like that in this segment, and what's Chucky supposed to do? What catchphrases can Chucky use? How can Chucky relate to the person? He can't, you know, because it's boring wrestling. You've got nothing but the fact you're a wrestler. I like Andrew Chase. For me, he's one of the best things on NXT. And I thought it was great when Chucky, after, you know, basically threatening everyone in the entire classroom, basically said he's going to kill them all, then he says that's a teachable moment. I thought that was great for Chucky. Really good segment. I enjoyed it. And then we got Pick Your Poison, Cora Jade versus Raquel Rodriguez. Cora Jade, super hot. Raquel Rodriguez, big, muscular, manly looking chick that comes out and flexes her muscles. That just doesn't appeal to me, man. I don't care for it. I don't care. I'd say she's slightly more attractive than Rhea Ripley, but it doesn't matter shit to me. Cora Jade wins by DQ when Raquel Rodriguez hits her with a kendo stick. Not sure why. And then after the match, Jade is taunting Rodriguez. Roxanne Perez comes in, attacks her from behind, swings the kendo stick, but Jade manages to duck and retreats. And then Perez stands tall in the ring, and Raquel hoists Perez up on her shoulders, and that's what ends the segment. Then the announcers go over the Halloween Havoc card. Then we cut backstage. We've got They got the Hickey brothers, the Hillbilly brothers, I forget their names, but they're backstage. Basically, they're going to play a drinking game to the KO show, which I guess is, I don't know, pretty funny or whatever. You've got the Japanese guy, Kushida, he's back, and then you've got some woman comes in, does a handstand. I mean, it wasn't great, it was weird, like, but whatever. Then we get the Kevin Owens show. I mean, Kevin Owens basically spent the whole show burying JD McDonagh, calling him like a freak and a weirdo, and Owen says that like even JD, he spoke to JD's mum and not even she wants her son to win. But it was kind of overshadowed by Braun and Dragovich, you know, just not liking each other. Eventually it breaks down, the two men square off. Kevin Owens says, "I'm sorry Sean, I tried." He leaves the ring, then he tells them to continue. They beat the shit out of each other, and then security try and pull them apart. Braun hits a couple of people with spears. Dragovich hits him with his finisher. Then we get JD trying to attack Dragovich from behind, but Dragovich counters and hits JD with his finisher. Dragunov holds the belt up to end the show, but then Austin Theory's music hits and he comes out with a briefcase. So now it looks like all of a sudden Austin Theory has got intentions of cashing in for the NXT title. I mean, why would he? I mean, I know they don't really state it, but I think it's fair to say we all acknowledge that NXT is like development. NXT is like the breeding ground for the future. You know, it's fair to say that you learn your trade in NXT, then you go up to the main roster. Why would you have a chance? This doesn't make any sense to me. Why would you actually have a chance at a world title and cash it in for an NXT title shot? That doesn't make any sense to me. If Austin Theory wanted a title shot for NXT, he could probably just turn up one week and get one. Well, he wouldn't waste your money in the bank cashing. So, yeah, the fact that they've done this tells me that he won't cash in, because I think if they were going to do it, they would have just done it as a surprise. I don't think they would have wasted the shock element tonight. But it is what it is. That's how the show ended. Yeah, so there you go. I mean, not really happy having to watch this. AEW was on it a night earlier, so 2 shows on the fucking one day, man. Absolutely suck. It's like Friday all over. You know what? The Andrew Chase, I really liked the Andrew Chase segment. I thought that was good. But apart from that, for me, there wasn't much in it. I'm not a big fan of just the main roster people coming onto the show. That does nothing for me. If it's someone for the main roster that I like, then fair enough. But I mean, it's not. And you know, the whole Quincy Elliot thing is just not for me, man. I'm going to give this maybe the lowest rating I've ever given NXT. I am going to give NXT, I'm going to give it a 2 out of 10. That might be the lowest rating I've ever gave NXT. So there you go. Who knows? Maybe even Dynamite might get a higher one. Anyway, guys, that is it. Catch you in the next one. Feel like shit. have to end this, but then we've got AEW to watch now, so I mean the ride never stops. It continues here on Fog Wrestling. Make sure you're subscribed, make sure you're commenting down below, please. Like the videos, helps the algorithm, helps the analytics, it helps everything, helps the channel, and it helps me, and I appreciate that. So thank you guys, I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.